whole. We tend to say, learn the first verse. They learn much better if you let them repeat the whole. I've done enormous amounts of plays and so on, and all the children knew all the words, which is very useful if someone is away. Montessori said that the adolescent should have plenty of time for art, including modeling, design, nature drawing, and painting. She approved of a wonderfully useful perspective teaching material for teaching perspective. It was a glass frame on a stand, and the child sat here and looked ahead through the glass and just painted along the lines that it saw. It comes out in real perspective, and so it learned subconsciously the rules of perspective just by painting on the glass. So, after a while, the child could copy onto paper this correct perspective view, having learnt the rules subconsciously. In maths, Montessori felt, of course, that this was very important, and because of early materials, children were able to make abstractions easily. I found that Montessori materials made children very advanced in mathematical thinking, and as I said, 2 boys came through my school and were later in the maths team in different years, represented their country with 145 nations. James Rickard and Andrew Hayne. John Rickard. James was his brother, who's mathematics professor at Bristol University. But John Rickard gained a first prize for the most elegant solution. When I gave John the lives of the great mathematicians to read when he was quite young, he said, "You know, Mrs. Wallbank, I noticed they were all ill at some time, and I think that was because they needed to go to bed to have time to think." That is quite an important thing. When do they have time to think? We should ask ourselves, do we give our children in school time to think? Language, she said, is so valuable for developing the personality and expressing ideas with other people. She also said that they should have the ability to read and write correctly in several languages. Now, they can do this if they come through the absorbent mind stage, and if there are several languages heard within the environment there. I have a sister in Switzerland, and her daughter lives there with her children, and they speak Italian to the granny on the Italian border. They speak English to my sister. They speak have High German at school. They speak Schweizerdeutsch with their friends, and their first language at school other than German is French. All this is just absorbed naturally within the environment. Language, she said, is so valuable for developing the personality. Montessori said in the Kinder that adolescents needed preparation for life through the following: studying the earth and living things in geology, geography, botany, zoology, physiology, astronomy, comparative anatomy. Astronomy now we should include because it's especially important for them now because of certain space travel. Secondly, the study of human progress with physics, chemistry, mechanics, engineering, and genetics. Physics is very exciting now with nanotechnology. They should feel the excitement of the most wonderful amount for them still to know, and to know that we don't know, and that they will probably find out some of the answers. For instance, what really is dark matter? It makes up 80% of the universe, and we don't know what it is. We know it's there. We don't know, but they probably will. So let them know this. Montessori suggested having a museum of machinery. We did it with a timeline, with pictures and small-scale models. Montessori said in the Erdkinder that through machinery, man can exert tremendous powers across cultures and nations. She said, machinery is an extra limb for modern man. We used computers and found them invaluable. Touch typing can be learned at the stage before. By the way, if you put a coloured nail varnish of different colours on the finger, on the nails, and have the corresponding colour on the key that finger should go on, you've got touch typing, and it's very quick. They touch type very easily that way. A child suggested it, by the way. Now there's a wonderful wealth because you can visit museums in other countries on the computer. You can actually see the objects and visit and have a commentary. The internet is very wonderful if it's managed properly. We can converse now with children in other countries. There are so many amazing uses, and it's not difficult now with latest technology to safeguard our children from misuse. We were lucky to have a city library, this was in the 1970s, which had car simulators. So they learnt to drive on them, and they loved this. Today I would take them, if possible, of course, to fly on a plane simulator. On my 80th birthday, my family gave me lessons on a Tomahawk aircraft, and I actually took the controls. I regret to say they gave me the controls. Luckily the other chap was there, but over the Prime Minister's house at Chequers. At 80, I loved the experience. I would still love to learn to fly a helicopter at the age of 88, but I don't think I will. I would love it. The study of, fourthly, she said, the study of the history of mankind is important through pictures, objects, timelines, and documents. She said in the Erdkinder that there should be geographical explorations and should be contact between different nationalities. Now, I'll tell you what I did. I would never dare to do it again. How I dared to do it. We followed, it's become a suing country like America now, and it spoiled it in a way. I took a whole school party, including an autistic boy, to India. We went by Egypt Air because we learnt that we could put down and see the Sphinx and the pyramids. We travelled across India, third class. We arrived at Bombay, went and saw the island of Elephanta. We travelled hundreds of miles, third class, to Delhi. We then went on to Agra and saw the Taj Mahal. In Agra, Danny Ware, whose father was an East End barrow merchant, Danny was very much an East End boy, saw the coolies running with a rickshaw, paid the coolie, put him in the rickshaw and ran round with it because he thought it was so much more fun. I tell you, Agra stopped. We saw the Taj Mahal. It's the kind of thing, no picture ever shows you, can show you the wonder of the Taj Mahal, like the Grand Canyon. No picture can give you that silence and that depth and that wonder of the Grand Canyon. It was wonderful. And then we went on and saw the Ganges and the burning ghats and the people with spiritual trances standing in the Ganges. It was wonderful, wonderful. We travelled very cheaply using third class. My East End London children saw real poverty, but one added, though, that it's perhaps a little bit easier to be poor in a warm country than it is in our very cold country. we had the privilege of seeing different and very wonderful cultures. I remember seeing a mouse run across the bank floor when I was there, and I sat on the desk quickly. It's such a different culture, and so wonderful to really integrate and feel the similarities, but the differences. Never be afraid of the differences. If you have a small child and there's a lot of brown pebbles on a pot,